break. Wakey tackled at 5.2% better tackle success rate as a team, which is unusual against the Warrington team this season, and conceded 5 fewer penalties in the 14-9 overall count. But it was no clear winner on those because of the way they fell differently, and it reflects a close, exciting game with two teams doing things a little bit differently to each other, but by no means not entertaining, each of them. So it's individually on the stats. Just to touch on those kicking stats a little bit more, Ryan Hampshire was perfect with the boot, 5 out of 5, but Harvey Levette kicked 5 goals in the first half, taking advantage of a couple of penalty opportunities, and Bryson Goodwin kicked 3 out of 3 in the second half, and that was helpful to the campaign there. And one of those was a penalty goal as well. In fact, sorry, 2 of those were penalty goals. So it was the penalty goals that really drove things over the line for the Wire. So Bryson Goodwin as well, 1 try assist, 130 metres. Josh Charnley, 1 try assist, 101 metres. Chris Hill going into the England squad with a good performance, 130 metres from him. Tom Lynham, 1 try, 2 try assists. For the losing side, Trinity, Tom Johnston, 1 try, 102 metres. David Fafita, 1 try assist, 7 tackles, 125 metres. Reece Lynn, 7 tackles and 164 metres. And Bill Tupu gets that back in the stats roundup after a brief spell out of this. 1 try assist, 8 tackles, 190 metres, 2 clean breaks for Big Bill. So exciting stuff all around there. And Stefan Ratchford was pulled out as one of the man of the matches.
Again,
as well in the
England player,
the reports I've read. He didn't quite make the stats roundup, but he did grab 2 tries to start off with the game, and like we say, another England player impressing in the lead up to the Denver test. It's all positive from that side of things. Okay, final game to talk about was another thriller. It finished.
Was this the thriller round this week?
It was, yeah. It finished 24 points all between Castleford and Hull Kingston Rovers down at the Jungle. An impressive 9,022 were on to watch Liam Moore referee this game. It was 14-6 to Castleford at half time, and it sort of stayed along that track of Castleford leading the game for basically all of it until the last 2 minutes of the game. We had a couple of people get in touch. Do you want to start first with Adams?
Yeah, Adam F. Conley 87 says, Cass were crap, KR were crap, the ref was carp. Well, I thought Liam Moore would be more of a sturgeon myself. If you look at him. Compared to the other games on Sky this week, the game was crap. No intensity from either team, and a ref who did nothing for a fast-flowing game. Despite the tight score, this was a game that would have done nothing for the neutral. Going to try and forget it. I'm going to bed! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
That boy Rob said a welcome and lucky point for the champions after we ran out.
No. Well, I suppose they will retain the Roger Millward Trophy.
Well, exactly.
They'll still be the champions of it.
After we
unless you split it in half and give each a 3, perhaps.
Well, no, because I'd guess it's like the Ashes, isn't it? If you draw, you retain, don't you?
Yeah, you retain it. Yeah.
After we ran out of subs 50 in and somehow managing to hang on with the walking wounded, the game should have been over long before half-time, but Cass couldn't turn their pressure into points and only led 14-8 at the break. 14-6 at the break, you meant to say. Rovers came back, starting with a smart try from their own kickoff and ending with 2 tries in the final 10. Super Jai scored 4 and the rectum of the Rovers did fuck all. There you go. Yeah, Joel Tompkins
just on that,
for Castleford. It does look from the stats like he was reasonably well involved, but he didn't hit a high notes to make the stats round up for certain.
Yeah, or I don't know. I mean, do we really need him in all the fuss, or would it have been better for the club to sign him and then say we respect Wigan's decision in respect of the sitting him down for 4 games and he'll sit out the rest of those? Of course, we'd never do something looking that straightforward and keeping our own counsel on that, but
or even
never mind.
Put him out for a period of time, but Wigan would have had a game that he would have been missing during the international weekend that Hull KR aren't playing during, are they? So
no.
So that would have been like a week of that gone, wouldn't it? So you could have said, no, we're going to put him out for 2 weeks, not 4 weeks or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
There was it just sort of struck me as a bit, he kind of shirked the suspension part of it by changing clubs. It doesn't send the greatest message that if you want to get out of something, you can just run away somewhere else. But
no, but there's somewhere else is a bottom 3 side.
It's a much superior club where he'll get a much vaunted status. Yeah.
But yeah, beyond Joel Tompkins' debut, the highlight. I mean, apparently, if the game wasn't a great watch, the highlights don't tell you that, do they? Because
the 2 missed drop goals.
Oh, I didn't see those. I haven't seen that. You'll have seen more highlights than me, possibly. Then.
Well, also because I was on a train, refreshing furiously. Trying to find out what was going on, because I was sort of dipping, one of those trains where you dip in and out of signal, so I couldn't have the radio on, so I was checking Twitter and furiously refreshing, trying to find out what was happening. We're setting up for a drop goal, and then we got it.
I fell asleep when the radio coverage switched from the Warrington Wakefield game to this game, to be honest. Not because of the action, but because of the fact that I was so tired.
It was a Sunday afternoon, and you'd had a busy weekend.
A long drive back home from Hull. I'm getting tired now. As you can tell from all the ums. Some good tries scored in this game, wasn't there? Jai Hitchcock's try that came from what's his face? Greg Minikin catching the ball, jumping from the field of play, but I think the Hull KR players sort of weren't sure if it was going to be a 20-metre tap or not, and neither originally was Minikin, but they took full advantage of that, did Castleford. Absolutely thrilling length of the field try that was scored there. Well done to them there. And the try that's probably dominated the highlight reel, really, is the Adam Quinlan try right after half-time from the short kick.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even a short kick-off, really. It was just that Chris Atkin got there first and threw a beautiful little instinctive quick offload onto his inside right shoulder, and Adam Quinlan was there to step around the defender and going under the sticks. Great exciting stuff that was. Yeah, no,
it was brilliant. And Quinlan's, fast become one of my favourite players this season in terms of just his sheer work rate and effort and what he's producing. He's sort of gone a little bit, not quite under the radar, but he's kind of been forgotten about a few times when people have been talking about our side. So all credit to him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Junior Vaivai grabbed a couple more tries. I thought there was a question mark over his one at the end there, but it was given. So you have to assume the men who were stood closer by it had a much better view than my one camera angle, no slowdown replays view that I got of it on the highlights package. So all in all, I thought it was exciting from what I followed of this game. So obviously I didn't catch it.
Yeah, from the bit where I was changing trends, so I was able to listen to the radio. It was certainly that's the beginning of the second half. It was sounding very exciting at that point.
Yeah, and a really good important kick by Ryan Shaw to seal things. Another question mark about should the post be taller. If we had posts as high as Headingley everywhere, we might have a few less controversial conversations about that sort of stuff. But well done to both sides, serving up an exciting way to finish the State of Mind round. In terms of the stats, Cass made almost 300 more metres at almost 1 metre per carry better average game, with 2 extra breaks, 1 more try and 1 fewer handling error. So Cass were the better side with the ball. You probably echoes what Rob was saying, that they should have taken the chances a little bit more because of that. Also, with 3.6% better team tackle success, stats have them as better without the ball too. 4 missed goals gives a clue as to why they didn't end up winning this one. And they were shared between Callum Turner and Paul McShane. So not just one person culpable there, but actually, no. The official Super League stats has Paul McShane having one of the kicks, but the right up in the paper
League Express just has
Callum Turner. Either way, the 4 missed kicks cost badly. Individually, Junior Moore's 6 tackles, 153 metres, 3 successful offloads was one of the standouts for the home side. Nathan Massey, another one of the 4 forwards, 168 metres. Jesse Lafayette, 8 tackle busts and 121 metres. So some big work in the forwards there from those lads. You can't miss Jai Hitchcock's 4 tries off the stats roundup. That's an impressive number in any case. Some nice finishes along the way too. For the visit in Rovers, it was Junior Vai with 2 tries, 6 tackle busts and 138 metres, 2 clean breaks. He continues to impress. Danny Tickle, 130 metres, 3 successful offloads. He moved up into the front row with the debut for Joel Tompkins in this one. Chris Clarkson, 41 tackles, leads you at 100 metres against his former side. In terms of the standings, Saints keep their 6-point advantage at the top, and Wigan keep up their 2-point gap from the third place side, and have effectively evaded the qualifiers this year. So well done to Wigan. They're safe in Super League for another year. Crisis averted.
Hey.
Warrington open up a 1-point gap.
Slump over.
Crisis definitely averted. Warrington open up a 1-point gap between themselves and Castleford. Hull sit outside the top 4, but now by a 3-point margin. Wakefield have a 7-point gap to the top 4 and a 4-point buffer from the bottom 4. Leeds are 8 points behind the top 4 and 3 points clear of 9th placed side SR Huddersfield. Catalan they're in 9th, and Salford in 10th. They both sit 3 points outside the safety zone. So there's a lot to play for in that area of the table. Hull KR and Widnes are the bottom 2, and kind of getting cut away a little bit after this weekend's results. Okay.
So in terms of predictions, Super Brute and Dream Teams. In terms of the predictions, Mark, you went 5 out of 6. Which leaves you 72 out of 103 overall. And us in the co-host gang, we also went 5 out of 6, leaving us tied up on 72 out of 103 as well. So it is neck and neck.
I was nervous after Salford pulled off that convincing win against Widnes that I was going to get a big deficit. But Wigan, my boys, pulled it out. The crossbar helped get me to a much better position in the predictions. And in the Super League, Hutch stays top. Mark McCartney had the best week though, so well done to Mark. In the Dream Team, there were several high scorers this week, but the best went to Sophie Mannion with 680. Alan Bagley stays top of the table.
Of course
there.
He does.
Okay, that is Super League well and truly covered. We're now going to move on to other results from around the world of Rugby League. Other results time now then, and it was round 17 in the Championship, and it started overseas with Toulouse hosting Lee Centurions on Saturday afternoon. It finished 18-16 to Lee in a vital game there for the top 4 places. Later on Saturday, it was Toronto 62, Dewsbury 12. Brian Davies got in touch on this one. He said...
he said routine win for the Wolfpack, but this game on Free Sport was called by a Canadian lass. Oh, what's happened to Lord Nigel Reid?
I don't know, but it was an interesting commentary this week.
Yeah, Bryce says that is important for several reasons. RL commentators are blokes. She was at the last game, but her lack of knowledge merely highlighted the technicalities that we all perhaps take for granted. She also provided a different perspective, though suggesting that a drop goal in minute 1 might be a good option was perhaps a tad naive. Well, to be fair, Steve-O did it for however many years, so... she's only probably just watched some tapes and realised that's what commentators do.
I mean, I put the game on yesterday evening. I watched the first half and then didn't go any further than that, to be honest, because it was all done and it wasn't that exciting to watch. But the commentary was interesting. Emma even noticed that this woman didn't know a lot about the game and wasn't following the normal flow of the lead commentator in terms of how she was calling the action. But it's great to get another voice in, and I don't want to knock her from improving the knowledge of the game and growing into that role, because it's great to get a fresh perspective. It's great to get a proper Canadian perspective on the sport as well. That was really good. So.
And let's be honest, I've not heard it, but I'm quite sure it won't be the worst commentary that there's ever been on a match.
there's work to be done there, but hopefully she's a professional and she works on the things and gets a better understanding, and certainly her enthusiasm for the action can't be knocked. That's for certain. Okay, on to Sunday's games. It was Swinton 4, Halifax 4.